Well, welcome back to 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. I hate starting my day and starting a broadcast like this, but unfortunately we've had a couple of passings in the last few days. Austin Stoker, 92, from Assault on Precinct 13, Horror High, and a bunch of other films. Austin was a really nice guy. I met him at a chiller when he came in. He came in a couple times, actually, and he was the type of guy who would hang around with the fans after hours and shoot the shit with them. When he came to Cinema Wasteland, they ran Assault on Precinct 13 like really late at night, and he actually showed up and did an impromptu Q&A and things like that. And if my dog is in focus here, thank you all for your thoughts and concern and stuff like that, because she's had like 6 growths removed, and it's not easy to deal with her like this, as you can see, because she's very needy. And we've been back to the vet already because she pulls out her sutures. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like I said, I did an impromptu, something happened with Chiller where whoever was supposed to moderate the Assault on Precinct 13 panel never showed up, and I was sort of like on the outs with the show, but Austin had grabbed me and said, who's doing this? And I said, all right, I'll do it. So I went in and did my thing, and basically he thanked me afterwards, and just a really, really nice guy. Every time we ran into him, he was very cordial, remembered me, and he was the one who actually told me that Darwin Jolston, unfortunately had passed away years ago, from some kind of brain cancer or something like that, and it slipped through the cracks. Actually, so did Austin's passing, because I believe it was on October 7th. More disturbing, shall I say, is the passing of Donna Lucas, wife of Tim Lucas from Video Watchdog. She was only 40-something, and I don't know the whole story, but supposedly she was going into the hospital for pre-surgical testing and passed away during the testing. My heart goes out to Tim. It's a horrible thing to have a life partner just suddenly be taken from you. Even stranger is the whole thing with the medical profession, which makes me very leery of any of this shit right now. It's just really strange and fucked up, but my condolences to Tim and the family of Austin, and may they both rest in peace. But back to our Halloween stuff, I think I left off at movie number 8. So we're going into movie number 9, Dr. Blood's Coffin, which I had watched years ago, and I thought it sucked back then, and on a new, more recent viewing, sucked just as much. So yeah, don't even waste your fucking time, and why they put that on a Blu-ray is beyond me, because this thing has been out on every public domain forum, from Something Weird Video to Sinister Cinema to Oldies.com. It's one of those films that I think nobody really gives a shit about. But for 10 and 11, we have the original double bill of Not of This Earth and Attack of the Crab Monsters. Now, Not of This Earth, not the Tracy Lords remake, because seriously, the only way I can take Tracy seriously is an actor with you-know-what in her mouth. But this goes back, it was a double bill, of course, Attack of the Crab Monsters. How can you resist a film with that title, which featured giant thinking crabs created by atomic radiation, which basically decimate an island in search of human prey, and they eat people and absorb their brains and vocal cords and shit like that and set traps. Really one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, because, again, how could you resist the title of Attack of the Crab Monsters? Not of This Earth is a little bit more cerebral. It has this alien coming to Earth because his planet is dying out because of atomic wars that basically fucked up their blood. So Paul Birch is the guy who comes down wearing a black suit and black wraparound glasses, which you can clearly see some electrical tape in some scenes on the glasses. Beverly Garland is his nurse, and I think this was maybe the 3rd or 4th film she had done for Roger Corman, and Beverly was pretty much of a hottie back in those days, and I was lucky enough to meet her at an early chiller. I believe the Beverly Garland fan club was based in New Jersey, And I still have a thank you note from her because I think I got her a couple copies of films that, she didn't have that she was in. So she was always cool to deal with. Others in the film are Jonathan Hayes and Dick Miller. Dick Miller is a vacuum cleaner salesman. What happens is this guy has no eyes, or blank out eyes, and when he takes off his eyes and looks at people, he fries their fucking brains and drains their blood into this thing, sends people back to the planet Donna or whatever. But it's really a cool little film, and I don't know. I think Paul Birch did a couple of these films for AIP and Corman, but I think this was the last one he did for Roger, because supposedly, if I remember right, he had a fist fight with Roger during the shoot, and I don't think he ever worked for him again. So, yeah. I will get to more Halloween stuff, because we're up to day 11 now, I believe. Well, that would be 11. I watched that last night, so I could take a night off or watch something else. But another weird-ass film I just had to see, for whatever reason, popped into my head, and the name of the film is Head, and it was the Monkees film. And I just found it on Tubi. Thank God I didn't pay for it, because the only way to watch this film is when you're stoned. Seriously. It's very subversive and has a lot of weird stuff going on, like a cameo by Jack Nicholson. Timothy Carey is Lord High Low or something like that, which I just think he's being Timothy Carey. Who else is in there? Frank Zappa, Sonny Liston, Carol Dotto, Terry Garr. And that bald guy is erroneously credited on the IMDb as Tor Johnson, and it's not. It's another professional wrestler turned actor, Tiger Joe Marsh, who was actually the Naked Turk in Beware the Blob. Like I said, very strange-ass movie indeed, and I recall seeing it in the theaters, and like I said, the best way to see this is you got to be fucked up, because it's the only way it makes any sense. Of course, there's a giant-sized Victor Mature walking around for some reason, stalking the monkeys. Like I said, really, really, really fucking strange. Something else that was really strange that happened, I guess, a couple weekends ago was that I had sold a friend of mine a bunch of issues of Grindhouse Resurrection and some of my t-shirts because he was doing a convention and needed some merchandise. So what happened was, I don't know what prompted this, but the guy who runs Synapse, one of those guys, I think his name's Don May, supposedly went and brought the promoter back to look at this display, and some disparaging remarks were said about me and my shirts for whatever reason. Don, if you watch this, I don't know what your problem is with me, but I don't know what a lot of people's problem is with me, but putting the shit out on the internet and going behind my back, that's pretty much of a pussy fucking move. And I'll say before, you got a problem with me, contact me directly and let's talk it out. Don't be like that other guy or those other guys and just tell me there's no issues and then run their mouths behind my back, because I'm past that. Like I said, I'm not really interested in doing conventions anymore, especially 3-day ones. If it was a 1-day show somewhere or something like that and it was cool, of course I'd be on board, but I'm not to the point where I want to sit behind a table for 3 days anymore. It just sort of kills my back with the arthritis and stuff. So, again, my thanks for people who've inquired about Blanca, who's now laying peacefully on the floor looking for a way to get that cone off her. And that's already happened. So hopefully it won't happen today, because I'm tired of driving 40 minutes away to the vet every fucking 5 minutes, it seems. So on that happy note, please stay safe. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll have more Halloween hijinks on the flip side. So stay tuned.